All right. So I'm in my car and it's raining a little bit. So if you hear something, it's the rain. But nonetheless, I'm here with their Wrestlemania review. The show was good. I thought it was a good show. I mean, a couple boring matches here and there, but overall, I enjoyed the show. I thought it was pretty good. So we get the show started off with the Usos defeating, let's see, the Rybacksel, the Matadores, and the Real Americans. Thought the match was decent, I guess. Okay, decent match here. Um, it turned into a better match when there was just the Usos and the Real Americans left. What didn't make sense here is the Bull got involved, that fucking El Torito Bull, and it clotheslined Axel into the pile of people or whatever. The people down on the floor. I believe that's what the move was. And it's like the Bull isn't in the match. It's a disqualification, isn't it? It didn't make any sense there. So then it comes down to the Usos and the Real Americans, and the crowd is clearly behind the Real Americans. I mean, when they do We the People, it's like everybody does it now. Um, and when the Usos won, I mean, the crowd was clearly booing. They were upset. So I was upset too. The Usos. I mean, they're decent wrestlers and all, but they're just not charismatic. They're annoying, and I don't like them. Yeah, they have some wrestling ability, but they have no character, no charisma at all. So this match was decent, I guess, decent at best. But I was expecting more. From the tag team division. It's been talked about. It's so great, and they didn't put on a great match. So. But it wasn't horrible. I mean, I'm not saying the tag division's horrible, but it's just been talked about. Oh, the tag division, it's so great. Well, it wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't great at WrestleMania. I was really expecting a pretty good match here, but little below expectations here, but still a pretty average to decent match here. Oh, and then after the match, you get Cesaro and Swagger arguing. It ends up with a Cesaro swing on Swagger. So Cesaro's probably, the Real Americans are probably done. And this is good. The only thing they should have fucking done is give them the belts. I mean, they were together for what, 9 months? And they didn't have time to give them the belts for one time. I mean, they were one of the most over tag teams. And they were heels, too. That was the thing. They were heels and they were so over. And they never got the belts at all. And it's just retarded. Um, but hopefully Cesaro is on to bigger and better things now. Maybe a world championship or just in the closer to the main event picture. Maybe it's not a world champ. With the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. That would be cool to see a Bryan and Cesaro feud for the belt in the future. Then we get Hogan coming out to start off the official WrestleMania. I guess the tag match was a pre-show, but you get Hogan coming out. Um, During the beginning of the promo, he said the Silver Dome, which I thought was pretty funny. But then he corrected himself and said Superdome. I didn't catch it at first. Superdome, Silverdome. It's like, oh, they're so close. So I didn't catch it until the crowd started reacting, and I hear Cole's going like, oh, Hogan thinks it's WrestleMania 3. I'm like, what the fuck's Cole talking about? But then I understood. So it was a funny moment there, and he corrected himself, and then Austin comes out. And it was a cool moment to see Austin come out. I was pretty, shocked that Austin came out. I mean, I knew he was gonna be there, but I did not expect Austin to come out. So it's like, holy shit, you got two of the biggest stars of WrestleMania in the same, or in WWE history in the same ring together. It's like, holy shit, this is pretty cool. And then fucking Rock comes out, and it's like, holy fucking shit. Now you got three of the biggest stars. I've been harping on the fact that Rock's run in 2013 sucked. The 3 month run in 2013 sucked, but nonetheless, he's a fucking legend. He's one of the greatest of all time, one of the biggest stars of the Attitude Era. He is a legend. He is one of the biggest, most popular stars in wrestling history. So it was fucking awesome to see probably the three biggest stars, if not three, and they're in the top five probably of WWE history. I mean, what an amazing scene! WrestleMania 30, you get Hogan, Austin, and Rock, and it was funny. Rock started talking about, there's a lot of babies made on, a lot of people have birthdays 9 months after WrestleMania. That was a little bit of a funny moment there. It was just great to see them all there together in the same ring. Hogan, Austin, Rock. What if Cena would have came out and that would have been just fucking funny. then and Cena comes running out. But thank God that didn't happen. Cena comes out and tries to, fit in with these legends. But thank God that didn't happen. But what an awesome way to start off the show here with this great opening segment. I did hate the Rock for coming back and having 3 months of horrible, boring wrestling and promos in 2013. But nonetheless, he is one of the biggest stars, and I was happy to see him back. It was cool. I didn't expect it really. I know there was rumors. Oh, Rock could be coming back, but you're always hearing those rumors. But it was actually true, and it was awesome to see those three guys in the ring together. And they all do their catchphrases at the end, and it was just awesome. And they drink some beer, and it was a great moment. It was epic. So after that, we get Bryan defeating Triple H. It was a good match. I gotta give Triple H a little bit of credit. He did have some good moves. The only thing I wanted to see here is Triple H was acting like a technical wrestler a little bit too much, I think. He was doing a lot of technical moves. I would, prefer to see a little bit more power moves out of him since he is a big guy. But nonetheless, Triple H did use some unique moves, some, cool moves. So I gotta give him credit. The match was good. A little bit slow. It wasn't the fastest pace. A little bit slow at times. But overall, I thought the match was good. Bryan ends up winning the match, predictably. I mean, it was pretty obvious he was going to win. And then Triple H attacks him after the match. Predictably, again, it was pretty obvious when Triple H was going to lose, he was going to attack him somehow. He hits him with a chair, and then, Bryan's got the arm injury. But a good match here. Can't complain about it too much. The chances are this was going to be a good match. I mean, you got Bryan in it. So it was a pretty good match. Then you get Shield defeating the New Age Outlaws and Kane. What a shitty, fucking match. The wrestling was good. I gotta give it, the team's credit. They did put on a good 3 or 4 minutes of wrestling time. What the fuck was that? It's a WrestleMania, and they give us 3 or 4 minutes of wrestling. The Shield are like one of the hottest tag teams in the business right now. They've been billed as this unbeatable force. This top tag team, and then you got the New Age Outlaws, one of the biggest tag teams of the Attitude Era, and it's a fucking 3-minute match. What the fuck is that? I was expecting at least a 10-minute match here. I know this isn't one of the biggest matches, but come on, holy fucking shit! I want to see something at least. Let's let these guys have a good match or something. The wrestling was good, so I can't bash the wrestling or the people that were actually involved in this match. But whoever decided this match was going to be 5 minutes is fucking retarded. This match deserved 10 minutes. It was given a shitty build to begin with, so it didn't feel like anything special. But this they could have had a good feud here with the Shield and the New Age Outlaws, but they just fucked it up. And Kane in there, Kane needs to fucking retire. He's wearing fucking dress pants to wrestle. What the fuck is that? Who wears fucking dress pants to wrestle, Is he gonna show up in a tuxedo to fucking wrestle? It's ridiculous. So that wasn't that good. And the powerbomb was a cool ending there. It was a fast-paced match, but just too short. And in the powerbomb, the double powerbomb was cool, too, so, good wrestling, but just a shitty, booking on the match there. Then we get this retarded backstage segment. You got like legends back. I think you got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in IRS. And was he? No. It was DiBiase came in after, towards the end of the segment. Had a couple of legends I remember. Steamboat and a couple others. In this retarded segment. They got fucking toys. They're like, oh, we're playing with our toys. Haha. Holy shit. Way to make these legends just look like total fucking retards playing with toys designed for 2-year-olds. Really, they're playing with them at, the announcers at ringside. Hey, JBL, look at I'm beating, this person up. It's just sickening. It's like they're trying to portray that adults really play with these toys. It's a disgrace to the, legends, having them come back to play with fucking dolls or whatever the fuck they are, action figures. It's bullshit. Then we get the Battle Royal. Most times when they get like a Battle Royal with 30 guys, it's boring because it's just a bunch of guys, fucking around the ring doing nothing and just punches and kicks. But I gotta say it was pretty decent. A couple cool spots. He had a cool spot where Kofi Kingston was launched over the ring. I think it was by Cesaro. When he landed his 2 feet, it looked like he fucking hurt himself. It was a brutal spot, but he landed and his feet stayed there, on the steps, and he climbed his way back in. So a pretty cool spot there. And then Cesaro, it comes down to Cesaro and Big Show at the end. And what a cool moment. Cesaro, what a fucking beast. Body slams the Big Show with ease, too. It looked like he did it with with ease. It looked like it was pretty easy for him. So there was some decent spots during this match, some good spots. So it was a decent match. It exceeded my expectations, that's for sure. And in my predictions video, I said that Big E was gonna win. Well, I didn't even know Cesaro was in it. I believe that wasn't even on the list. I remember saying in my predictions video, there's 3 spots still open. Cesaro must have been one of those spots, So if he would have been on there, I probably would have taken him. But it is what it is. Then we get Cena defeating Bray Wyatt. This match was mediocre. I was expecting a lot more from this match. And then to top it all off, Cena wins. It was basically like a 3-on-1 with the Wyatts, with the distractions. But of course, Cena wins here. He beats the Wyatts. And they're teasing a heel turn too. They're like, oh, is he going to join the dark side? Obviously not. I mean, they've done this fucking, a lot of times. With Cena, they tease a heel turn and he doesn't turn heel. I mean, I don't fall for it anymore, really. I was hoping he was going to turn heel, was not expecting it. So, I mean, and then he wins to top it all off. So, yeah, it's great. Just go out there and bury one of the, hottest upcoming stars in this industry. Bray Wyatt's a good wrestler. He's got a good promo. And Cena just goes out there and, F you, whatever, attitude adjustment. And he beats them like that. Stupid, retarded, dumb, Cena fucking sucks. Just goes out there, whether it's Ziggler or Sandow, just buries them all. Yeah, gonna dig a big hole and just, throw all the people who got talent in that big hole, cover it up, and never gonna see him again. So, that's just great. You could give Bray Wyatt a win, give him momentum, put him on a path of, being a top star, but no, we gotta bury him because we gotta protect Cena. We gotta make him 2,000-time world champion. Yeah, Cena fucking sucks. I don't like it. Then we get Lesnar defeating Undertaker. The match was pretty boring. But the main point about this match is what happened. The result. Taker loses. Yeah, and a lot of people are fucking pissed about this, saying, "Oh, this is a disgrace to Undertaker." I think this is Undertaker's last WrestleMania. I don't know what happened, but I'm assuming that Undertaker's like, this is my last WrestleMania. I'm hanging my boots up after this year because he did look a little bit, out of shape, and not out of shape, but he looked a little bit old in the ring. I mean, the match wasn't that good, so I think, he planned to make this, his last WrestleMania. I think this was, I think he planned this, like, I don't think it was planned like last year where it was going to be his last WrestleMania. But I think he, said a couple weeks ago or maybe a couple months, he told WWE, this is going to be my last WrestleMania, guys. I'm done after this year. So, I'll put it this way. If this was going to be his last WrestleMania and he told WWE this, like, before last year's, or after last year's took place, then I would rather have Lesnar beat him than Lesnar lose. Because I wanted to see the streak end eventually. I mean, as JBL's been saying, streaks are meant to be broken. And just a crazy moment here. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ending. And Heyman, holy shit, was Heyman great. He was like, oh my god. Heyman was great there, his reaction was awesome. Heyman has the best reactions and facial expressions. I mean, Heyman was great in the role after, he was like, oh my god. I loved it. So the match was pretty boring, but the result, I mean, and the fans were like, oh, and they showed that one retard, I don't want to call him a retard, but with that look on the black guy, with the look on his face, that picture has pretty much, been a pretty, trending topic in the wrestling world. That guy's face. So, a shocking moment, and people are complaining, oh, it's, a disgrace. I don't think it's a disgrace. The streak needed to end sometime. Lesnar's a good wrestler, and he's got Heyman, who's a really good talker. put them together, and they're a pretty good team, pretty damn good team. I enjoy Lesnar and Heyman. They're one of the best things out there in professional wrestling, so I don't have a problem with him beating the streak. You know, I like Lesnar. I get a Lesnar t-shirt. I like Lesnar. Lesnar's one of my, favorite guys in the company. One of the best wrestlers in the company. I enjoy him. So I don't have a problem with it. Some people might. I would rather see Punk have beat it last year, but that didn't happen. Well, Lesnar's, he deserves. He definitely, I don't want to say deserves. Maybe not deserves, but I don't have a problem with it. But like in my perfect world, I would rather have seen Punk do it, but he didn't. But that's not a problem. It's not a huge problem. Lesnar's like a step down from Punk beating the streak. So I don't have a problem with Lesnar beating the streak. I know there's a lot of, I might get a lot of hate from this, but it is what it is, and it's not a big deal to me, especially if this, was this decision of Taker retiring. They definitely sounded like it's going to be his last match. It's definitely if this decision of Taker retiring was made, recently. So there you go. There's my little opinion on Lesnar beating Taker. Then you get AJ defeating the rest of the Divas, and holy shit was the crowd dead for this match. I mean, just right after, the Undertaker and Brock match, which, a lot of people were, oohing and eyeing. Is that how it goes? I think it is. They were, pretty emotional about that, especially after. So the crowd was they did not give a shit about this match. Why did this go on before the main event? It was retarded. Why did you put a fucking Divas match on before the main event? It had some cool spots in here. Had a cool spot where both the Bellas did a suicide dive. And I guess the Bellas fighting at the end was sort of cool. AJ ends up winning. I didn't expect it, but I guess the match was, pretty boring actually. It just was. I mean, 14 Divas in there at once. It's like, come on, really? In a singles match, or in a match where it's not elimination, it's just fucking, one pin and it's over with 14, really? So AJ ends up winning. It's about fucking time for a new champion already. Come on, guys. Can you build another star who could be, champion? No, they can't, because they're too obsessed with fucking Total Divas. They're too obsessed with that show, and they're too busy with Total Divas, and they can't build another star. To fucking take the belt and, go on a championship reign. So, that match was pretty boring. You had one, really cool, pretty cool spot with this 2 suicide dives from the Bellas. And I guess the Bellas fighting was okay. It was something new, I guess, So, yeah, the Bellas fighting, I mean, it wasn't anything, like, epic or anything, but it was alright. Then we get a backstage segment, which it was pretty cool. You got all the people from the WrestleMania 1 main event and the referee, too, and they shake hands. So, a pretty cool backstage segment there. I mean, a lot better than the one where they were fucking playing with the toys. So, enjoyed that, right? That backstage segment there. Then you got the main event. You got Bryan defeating Batista and Orton. The match, it wasn't anything that special. There was one really cool spot where Batista did a power bomb, and then Orton did the RKO on the table. That was an epic spot. That was pretty cool. I mean, the rest of the match was pretty shitty. I mean, you had Triple H come down with Scott Armstrong, had him count. Bryan kicked out. Then you had a suicide dive, taking out Stephanie, Scott Armstrong, and Triple H, which was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see Stephanie, a man actually attack a woman. Haven't seen that in a while in fucking wrestling. It's like Attitude Era-esque right there. So, I mean, the match wasn't anything special except the one table spot, which was pretty epic. But holy shit, was it cool to see Bryan finally win. I've been waiting for this moment for months and months and fucking months. And he finally did it. And it was awesome. I mean, the crowd was going, yes, yes, yes. I mean, the confetti was coming down. He celebrated for like 5 minutes. And it was awesome. It was fucking awesome. I enjoyed it. I've been, I feel good for Bryan. I mean, he goes out there, puts on great matches. Tries to, every week. Doesn't matter, how, many times, the McMahons try to fuck him over. He should have been champion a long time ago. But he finally got it. You know, thanks to, the fans have played a big part in it too, chanting yes, 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 yes. And Bryan's fucking amazing. Clearly the best wrestler on the roster. Clearly, the biggest talent on the roster. The most over guy, the best talent. Um, so, yeah, it was a cool way to end the show. So Bryan's number one now in the company. Maybe not most popular, I guess. Maybe not the number one biggest guy in wrestling. I'm talking about relevant in the whole world. I'm sure. Cena will always be the number one, probably. I mean, when you ask somebody, "Oh, who's a wrestler?" Just a normal person on the street, they're probably gonna say John Cena. Who's wrestling in WWE right now, they're probably going to say John Cena. I'm sure a lot of people won't even know who Bryan is. But what a fucking cool moment to end the WrestleMania. And overall, the show was good. I enjoyed it. A couple of boring matches here and there, but overall, the show was pretty good. And Bryan winning was just epic at the end. I mean, you had a couple epic moments there in WrestleMania. And I gotta give WWE credit. I thought, they got everybody to buy the network. Maybe they would, slack off and just, oh, gave me our time. WWE, the fans have given us our $10. Now we're just gonna fucking not do anything. But they gave us what we paid for, and I liked it, and it was a good match. At the end there, maybe not a good match, but a good moment at the end there. See Bryan win, and it was a good WrestleMania. I enjoyed it for the most part. So kudos to WWE for giving us a good show, and kudos to Daniel Bryan too for giving it his all for so long. For the not just in WWE but he's been wrestling for like a long time now. Should have got this a long time, but he's finally got it. So there you go, people. Good WrestleMania, and Raw review will be up later tonight. So good show, and there you go, people.